Welcome to the Credit Bank Small Business Spotlight, where we put the spotlight on inspiring business owners. We learn their stories, and they're going to share with us what drives their success. This episode is sponsored by Credit Bank, where you can get $500,000 in working capital with monthly payments in less time than it takes you to drive to the bank. I'm your host, Irv Cruz, and today I am joined by Mr. Don Yurick. And no, he's not my twin, but he is Mr. Don Yurick. He is the owner of Hammer Nails Grooming Shops for Men. Don, welcome.
Hey, Irv. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
The pleasure is all ours, Don. Excited to talk to you about your business. First of all, why did you start your business? What was going on in your world prior to coming up with the idea to start the business or be a franchisee of the business? And take us from there.
Yeah, I recognize there's a little bit of irony. I'm a bald guy trying to sell a luxury barbershop, right? So let's get that out of the way first, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I was selling my time as a fractional CRO in Silicon Valley. In fact, I didn't make the move to the Northeast until about 4 years ago, and I was working on the West Coast. And I was working for early stage technology companies. I would often go in and advise the owners and co-founders and founders of companies to help them find their go-to-market plan, be their first sales guy, whatever it took to basically grow their business. And then when we moved out to the Northeast, my wife took a promotion out here in New York. I just decided that I was probably getting older and a little bit grumpier, and the co-founders were getting younger and a little bit more hubris.
Right.
That doesn't always mix. And I thought, man, I've built a lot of wealth for a lot of people, and started looking around, and I found this brand, Hammer Nails, which is a membership-based franchise model.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So coming from
like a gym.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep. Yeah. In fact, just a quick aside, in my Westport, Connecticut shop, I already have over 1,000 members. We've been open for a little over 2 years. So I was attracted to the subscription model coming from Silicon Valley, where subscription models are king. For most guys, they're getting their grooming services on a monthly basis, so it's recurring in terms of them coming back and getting their services. Most people's hair and nails grow back. And then the last piece is it's in that luxury space, so the margins are a little bit higher, which obviously hits your bottom line. And so when I started to look at that, I thought, man, this might be a winning combination. And what really pushed me over, Irv, is I went out to visit a shop in 2021, so right after the pandemic. It was a Tuesday. I went to Columbus, Ohio. It was on a Tuesday afternoon, and I walked in a hammer and nail shop. And we can say, you being from New York, you understand the coasts are a little bit more progressive in terms of these types of services. Yes. But I walked into conservative Columbus, Ohio, and literally all 8 barber chairs were full, and all 6 hand and foot chairs were full on a Tuesday afternoon. And I thought, if this is working in Columbus, this is going to kill on the East Coast.
That's and where that light bulb went off, right?
That's right. So the rest is history.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And so how long have you had your spot open?
Yeah, so the shop in Westport, Connecticut has been open since December of 2022. And to be honest, man, it's just been gangbusters since we opened. I mean, we've just had constant growth from the beginning. But I think that comes down to, just making sure that you have the right people on the bus. And we do that primarily. Sort of our guiding document for that is our core principles around what we find is most important, the qualities or characteristics or behaviors of people. And we really strive to hire folks that encompass those core values on our team.
Wonderful. So you started with your first shop, but my understanding is that you now head the franchising for the Northeast
Correct.
sector.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I was given the opportunity to purchase basically the states, the rights to be responsible for helping really motivated individuals that are interested in breaking free from the rat race, decide they want to do very much like I did. I want to make my own money and sort of create my own wealth and my own legacy. They work with myself and my team here in the Northeast. We're all based in Connecticut. So anyone that's looking to open a Hammer Nails grooming for guys shop in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, they would work with us.
Oh, wonderful. And is there a particular criteria that needs to be met in order to do so?
Yeah, what we're looking for is someone that has a net worth of over $1 million, liquid of about 250,000 dollars, and then just I think it's that person that has gained some demonstrable kind of skill set, working in corporate America, or have been working for a while and realize, very much like I did, like, hey, I have a pretty good skill set here and I want to go take this out on my own and try to go make my own, serious wealth from what I've learned working in corporate America or working wherever I've worked, and go build something for myself. And so that's what we're really looking for.
Yeah, and I think that's important because let's be realistic. I like to keep it real. Not every business, business owners may be really good at what they do or whatever trade they're in, but running a business is a different animal.
Oh, very much.
And I think, as far as Hammer and Nails is concerned, you want the business run right, not just from the customer centric standpoint,
Yep.
but from a numbers standpoint.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. So when you were first starting out, Don, as we know, when you're starting a business, launching a business, even taking on a franchise, it can be a little capital intensive. So how did you manage financing to get yourself started?
Yeah. So the leadership team for Hammer Nails is some of the former leadership for Massage Envy, and so they're rinsing and repeating, right? So they helped grow that organization to roughly 1,000, maybe a little over 1,000 units. And so the leadership team from day one has built a very good infrastructure. We have funding partners that actually will take from handhold the franchisees through the process to get funded for an SBA loan, a ROBS, different types of equity lines of credits, so people can sufficiently fund their business so they can achieve success. Yeah, so we have that all built out. And for us personally, my wife and I personally, we funded the majority of it, but then did take a small equity line, and then open that first shop in Westport, that flagship store there.
So essentially, the entire structure kind of funds from within.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have lending partners that will, basically help our franchisee partners through that process to get approved for the loans. But again, that's all internal, and we have a great support network there.
Oh, wonderful. So, our listeners always want to know, the ups and downs of starting a business and running a business. What would you say was your biggest hurdle or challenge? And equally as important, how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge that I had specific to our business is, I'm a former Silicon Valley guy, and I was coming in and I was having to hire 5 or 6 barbers and 5 or 6 nail techs. And my worry was, I was like, how do I talk to them? I was so busy, for most of my career talking to programmers and professional salespeople and
Right.
CMOs and CEOs. And I felt like there was this disconnect. Like, how am I going to relate to these folks? And what I did was, I went out and I hired a key person to join my team, who's an 18-year master barber with the state of Connecticut. She's been with me. Actually, she's been with me prior to the shop opening. She's been with me for almost going on 3 years now. And she just really taught me the way to connect with, these artists, these barbers and these nail techs. Really a way to talk to them and get them excited about the business, and then bringing them on board. So, um, I, the reality is, when you don't know what to do, go find someone that's a domain expert in that particular, area of that you're maybe feeling deficient in, and let them teach you or show you the way of the best way of doing that particular task.
Yeah, because it's a different language, and
100%.
in business, it's really all about relationships. It's all about people. So
Yeah, that's right.
getting like, sharp in that area, kind of leads you towards that path of where you want to go.
We have artists, Irv. We have artists, which is most proud to me. Like, making money is great, but to have a team that, I have several people on my team now, barbers, making over $100,000 a year, working 30 to 40 hours a week, because this model is so lucrative for them when they come in. That we charge the membership on the credit card. Irv comes in, gets a head shave or a manicure or pedicure, right? I mean, guys are doing it.
Yeah.
You also get a cocktail with your service,
No
and
way.
Yeah, we have a full-fledged bar in our shops, and you're not tipping $10 at the end. You have a nice bourbon or a nice cocktail or a beer, you're tipping $20 or $30 per service. And some of these, like I said, some of these barbers are making six figures. That's where I think, brings the most joy for me in terms of that side of the business, is watching these folks really make some good money for the first time in their lives.
Yeah, that's actually a great segue to my next question. Um, including that, but maybe putting that aside, what would you say is your absolute proudest moment or biggest achievement that you want to share with us?
Um, One of my barbers, who is in her 40s, came to me last year and she said, I'm so grateful for this job because I'm finally a W-2 employee. It's not booth rental or commission. I'm a W-2 employee. My credit is improved. This is the first time in my life ever that I didn't need my parents to co-sign for an apartment.
That is amazing. Yeah, but it does something for your energy when you hear that.
100%. And
A-
and the gratitude that they express because of these things that maybe we take for granted, that they've never been have an opportunity to experience, like, that
yeah,
far exceeds whatever we earn in the business, for me
yeah.
personally.
And that I gotta believe that's really what fuels your passion to
100%.
be even bigger and better and what else can you offer to really take that customer experience to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, the actual experience are the services, the artists. So if you're not taking care of them, they don't feel appreciated and seen and heard, you might as well just not do it. And that's true of any business, right? I mean, really, the folks that are taking care of your customers, whether they be a barber or a customer service agent, you got to keep focused on them, understanding really what your job as the leader is, to create a context for those that you have the opportunity to lead to be successful, right? And so that's meeting with them, it's talking with them, it's understanding how you remove barriers for them to be successful, right? That's really, I think, the joy of this job for me personally.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. I can see where, every day you're just inspired by
Yeah,
not only your own mission, but the mission of others and
that's
what
right.
you can do to affect the lives of others. So that's got
That's
to
right.
be an amazing feeling. So where do you see yourself in, say, like the next 2 years?
Yeah, so Herb, I got to get over 100 units open in the Northeast. I got a tall task in front of me. We Right now we have about 5 units opening, or excuse me, open already. We have 5 to 6 units opening this year, so effectively we're going to double our footprint in the Northeast.
Oh,
Really,
wonderful.
I spend most of my time just trying to find the right individuals that want to be independent business owners, become a franchisee of Hammer and Nails, and really break free from that rat race, and earn a really good living and have financial freedom.
That's great. So my parting question, well, I have two parting questions actually. If as far as growth and expansion, if you had the proper resources and support in place, whether it's financing, new team members, infrastructure, etc., what would you change for your business tomorrow to take yourself to the next level?
So let me just repeat back what I think the question is. If I had the right level of funding, how would I apply that to take my business to the next level?
Correct.
Okay. Um, Well, first of all, having the right funding partner is important, right? It's critical to underfund a business. In fact, we walk away from more franchisee candidates than we actually, accept as candidates or accept as franchisees in our business. Being underfunded is not a good thing, and some people think they can bootstrap. Bootstrapping is not a good thing. Trust me, taking from a guy coming from Silicon Valley, working at the earliest stages of companies there. Um, the thing that I would use that capital for is actually to expand the brand awareness of Hammer Nails in the Northeast, and to partner with the right franchisees. Having well vetted out funding partners is critical. That is
Yep.
absolutely critical.
That's absolute great advice for those listening to this man. He's a smart man and he knows how to get it done. Don, it's been really, really awesome learning all about Hammer and Nails Grooming Shops for Men. For those that want to connect with you, how would they
Yep.
find you?
Yep. Go on LinkedIn. You can actually see that there's a website, a web link to my page, my personal page for the Northeast. They can fill out a form to contact me, or they can email me at don@hngrooming.com. So hngrooming.com, Don, DON, @hngrooming.com.
Don, thank you once again for sharing your story. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast. For those of you that are watching and listening, if you've been inspired by this wonderful man that's changing the lives of many people, be sure to subscribe and tune in for more inspiring business spotlights. Until next time, I'm your host, Irv Cruz, and we'll see you on the next Credit Bank Small Business Spotlight. Don, thank you once again, and wish you all the success in the world.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch another exciting episode.